Welcome to Leadership, the secret sauce, where extraordinary coaches and leaders reveal what makes them exceptional. We're your hosts, Dave Lipski and Matt Dodson. Together, let's discover our guest's secret sauce. Today's episode is brought to you by Character Matters Coaching and Consulting. At Character Matters, we believe great leadership isn't just about results. It's about who you become along the way. From career transitions to team building, we help leaders unlock clarity, build resilience, and lead authentically. Because when character grows, impact follows. Visit charactermatterscoaching.com. Today's episode is supported completely unofficially by a community we deeply believe in, the International Coaching Federation's Coaching in Organizations. If you're building or leading an internal coaching program, this is where your people find their people. It's a space to swap real stories, sharpen your craft, and stay connected to what's emerging in our field. If you haven't joined yet, take a moment to sign up and plug into the conversations shaping the future of organizational coaching. Your community is waiting, and they're ready to learn with you. Go to coachingfederation.org/coaching-in-organizations-inquiry to get started. All right, welcome in. Today, we're going to be sitting down with Judith Sitruk to uncover her secret sauce of leadership. Dave and I met Judith at the conference, the Institute of Coaching conference in Boston, not too long ago. I think it was actually in May of 2026. So we're going to hear her story. We had a meal and we just really enjoyed our time. I want to hear the challenges that she faces and what she's learned along the way. So we're sure you want to stick around for some of the insights that you'll hear. We also would ask you to subscribe and like this episode, as that certainly helps us get the word out even more. So, Dave.
Thank you, Matt. So excited to have Judith on. As Matt said, we were walking around the streets of Boston at a conference looking for someplace to eat and had a fabulous conversation with Judith. I wanted to welcome you and just ask you the opening energy question. On a scale from 1 low to 10 high, what is your energy level and what has you at that level?
Okay, I think I can say I am at 8 today. And because I could have been 10, but I'm so frightened by you two torturing me that I'm very happy to be here.
No one's ever said we torture people, Dave.
I'm sure you will torture me.
Yeah.
I know you. And then I am really high because being in this podcast and knowing that I would be helped me think about what is my secret sauce. I had no idea. And so now I can say I know it. So thank you, and thank you for having me.
Thank you. Yeah, we're going to talk about that question in just a moment. I want to check in with Matt. Matt, what's your energy level?
I'd probably say 8.5. Sure. Yeah, I'm there. Definitely. I'm working on my second cup of coffee. So.
Second cup of coffee. Yeah, I'm on my first cup. So okay. Matt's an early riser. So I'm about a 7. But I'm rising. Just seeing Judith and Matt on the screen brought some energy to me. So I'm looking forward to it. So Judith, on the Boston metro, plane, train, automobile, somebody turns to you and says, "Oh, Judith, what do you do?" How do you describe it?
Oh, big question. So I will go for the short version because it can be very long, as you know me. I'm a coach. I am an executive and life coach and everything in the middle, even couples. And what I do is help people understand the way they think, the way they take decisions, the way they interact with others when they are leaders, the way that they manage others, in order for them to be able to reach any goal. Because I think that you cannot enter a new position or a new relationship, whatever it is, without knowing yourself a little bit. And when you know yourself, it's easier for you to understand better the others. And then it's easier for you to adapt to the situations. Because you know you cannot change the world. You know you cannot change the others. And I don't know if you are aware, but you cannot change yourself really. But you can understand when you can adapt where and how to use it. So that's what I'm doing. And if you need more explanation, dear neighbor on the plane, sorry, we are at Boston Airport and I'm going to leave you now.
All right. Judith, I also want to be sure that we ask some questions because you had shared something with us just around how you stay present for your coaching clients. And I'm very curious about that you could just explain it to our audience when we get there. So I don't want to miss out on that. So Judith, what is your secret sauce and when did you know?
Wow. So as I told you, I never asked myself this question, and now you forced me. That's what about torture. You forced me to think about that. And my secret sauce could be something like, when I am with a client, of course, assess, inform, discuss. That would be my first session, and coach. So it's not completely as you would see a coach doing with assessing. So sometimes they have 360s or Hogans or MBTIs or DISC or whatever, and we can assess from that. But when there is nothing like that, I can see that any person that is choosing me has a certain special thing in them. I don't know why exactly, but when it comes to be chosen, as coaches, we have to be chosen, or it is not fair. The one who choose me are all the same in one way. They are completely unique, but I can see a pattern in them. Okay? I know this is not a bias from myself. I know I worked on that so much because I want to be a good coach. Like ICF want us and everything. But so the thing is that when I have a new coachee having chosen me, I can see that maybe they are not comfortable selling themselves. Maybe they are not comfortable with politics in their companies. Maybe they think so much all the time. Maybe they don't understand why other people don't understand them. It's so obvious for them. Maybe they can be a bit messy. Maybe they are very good procrastinators. Well, all these things, these are fueling my thoughts. And the fact that I'm going to assess them through a few questions. Well, if I have the 360 at hand or whatever, all these things are going to pop out anyway. So, okay. And I will tell you them, I will inform them, okay, here what I see from you. I'm not in the coaching questions at all at this moment, okay? What I see from you, that maybe you don't know about you. Sometimes I hear, yes, I know that I'm a bit different, but okay, that's how I am. But sometimes it's difficult for me, and okay. And then, I hate just telling them what they are, even being completely unique. Of course, everybody is unique. Never forget that, okay? If they are French, I can share books with them. If they don't read French, I have 3 pages explaining with references and everything where all that what I'm saying is coming from. I'm not just inventing it, okay? And then we can begin with the coaching. And the thing that tells me that it is my secret sauce here is that at the end of the session, very often, or in the middle of it sometimes, I can have people crying or laughing or whatever. And when I ask them, what is your feedback? They say, you saw me. And it never happened to me to be seen like that at work or in my life. You saw me, and I think that we are a good match. And from that moment on, we can go on working, coaching, being present, whatever. And it always gives great results.
That's neat. Thanks, Judith, for sharing that. That's, Judith, how does that the ability to see people or just to be present with them, how does that change? Or let me just ask this question. When did you first notice that, like as a coach?
Yeah. Supervision is very important for me. It happened a few times in my life. So when I was a baby coach, I had to have guinea pigs. It was 17 years ago. And I never chose this profession, not at all, not, but it chooses me. Okay, as coaches, you know what synchronicity means and everything. I won't jump into it. So when I was a baby coach, I was supervised, of course, and one day I told my supervisor, you know, Philip, I don't know what I'm doing here. I think I cannot work like that. I'm stealing from people. And he laughed and he told me, how do you do that? I said, well, they don't pay me a lot because they are guinea pigs. I told you, $10, 20 euros, books that I had a list of and I wanted them to buy them for me or whatever. And I told them, okay, they come, coming from a friend or somebody of the family or whatever, and they tell me their objective. We work on the objective a little bit to focus on the right part of it and whatever. And a discussion begins, and we talk, I talk, they talk, just a discussion. I have tools. Okay, so I didn't have a lot of tools at this time, but I used my tools accordingly, sharing them with them or whatever. And at the end, okay, it was okay. I felt that I had done nothing, and I was so energized, I was happy, and that's what I told to my supervisor. I didn't do anything, and I'm getting paid for that. It's not fair. And he told me, okay, I see what's happening with you. And how does the client feel? Say, oh, they are happy, they want to come back, they send me other people. And he laughed again and he told me, you know what, from that moment on, you are going to stop thinking of what you are bringing to other people. You are going to ask them because you are not able to figure it out by yourself. And that's how I've been asking after any session, how do you feel? And what are your takeaways? And I'm always surprised because I still go on feeling that I'm not doing anything. And I don't think I answered your question really.
Well, I just, you know, maybe what you described is the conversation between you and your mentor coach.
Yeah.
And really how that changed. I think,
Yes.
Some people notice it in other ways, but for me, the time with my original mentor or supervisor have really been instrumental and really sort of game changing in terms of the feedback given, in that moment around how am I showing up as a coach, or just the ability to listen to my coaching sessions like together and to really go, oh, that really changes. Like maybe I can ask this question. Can you share a time you coach a lot of people, you have a high volume of clients. How does your sort of this secret sauce of being present maybe help you through it? And maybe you can answer this question around being present and really kind of holding the space and yet not sort of, as Marsha Reynolds calls it, like carrying the baggage through it. How do you do that?
Yes, I have a lot of clients because I work with platforms. I don't know how to prospect. I don't know. So I don't even try. And people come to me because they know me from big companies and they need me or whatever. Or I work through platforms where there are questions asked to the future client and we are matched in a certain way, but not only me, we are 3 or 4 coaches and they can choose somebody else if they want and whatever. So there is a real choice here. Okay, so, and at the moment I think I have around 60% on my roster and I love having an impact on many people. Okay, so my presence is a kind of presence that every coach knows, I suppose. The walls can fall around us. I won't notice that because when I am with somebody, I am with the person 100%, 1000% with them. It is a kind of mission. It is, I am with you, I'm holding the space for you, and I need to hear everything you say with an active listening, but with a floating listening too. Just my mind is wandering all around. And I'm going to listen to what you don't say. I'm going to listen to see your emotions, and I'm very, very, very good at that because I didn't tell you, but I am on the autistic spectrum myself, and for boys, you see, they are not empathetic, or you name it, what you see, what you think autism is. For women, we are on the contrary. We can be so, I don't know how it happens, but I can see anything from you, okay? And I use that with my coaches, and only there, because there is a safe space for me to, and I can tell them, oh, I see there is something going on here. I see, but it's very deep, they don't know it at all. So I'm present with them like that. And they know that I'm not judging them. For example, when they choose me, when we have our first session, during the first minute, I ask them, why did you choose me? Most of the time it's feeling. I don't know why I chose you. Other times it is, I thought I would be safe with you. Other times, you are not selling yourself. I think you are here for me. Okay? So they feel safe, and we go on like that. It's as if I'm not carrying their bags or whatever. I'm carrying them to be themselves. I allow them to be what they are and what they have hidden for a long time sometimes, because they had to show like this, they had to be like that, etc., etc. Here, every mask is going away, and I hold the space for them. And at the beginning, really during the first session, I hold them, tell them, okay, it's safe for you. I don't say that, but it's how it is. That's my kind of presence. Yes.
I love that. Floating listening.
Yes, I saw that you blinked.
I wrote that down. I was like, oh my, floating. I want to take that one.
You have children?
Oh yeah.
Matt?
Oh yeah. 100%.
So, what do you do when you don't care about what they are saying and know that you are here and you can answer their questions like that? But you were not completely there. You are somewhere else, and everything is in your head anyway, and you can be here right on the spot with them. That's floating for me. That's floating listening.
Yeah. You said something before that really struck me, which is your clients say that you saw them like you, and I'm very interested in what are you looking for when you look to see your clients?
I am not looking for anything. It's not about me at all. I'm not looking for anything, but I am with them and I feel things coming from them. They can be CEOs, they can be an individual contributor. I spoke with, it was not coaching, but Nobel Prizes, or people working with the garbage and everything. Every people is one human being. Every person, the thing is, it's a human being in them. They don't care about what they are. Okay? So that's the first thing. And so when I am in this state of mind with them, we are just linked together in a certain level, the human level, and I can say things and ask questions that resonate completely with who they are. Nobody ever asked them these questions. Nobody ever, I don't know how the word in English is going away, asserted what they were saying or feeling or whatever. This never come into the picture. Oh, you are different, or maybe you don't know how to communicate, or maybe you are harassing me, or maybe whatever. Nobody saw the good intents behind that, no intents at all and everything. So when I put it all together, that's the assessment. They see their true picture and they tell me, you saw me, and that's it. I have no intent at all. It's just like a puzzle. And bloop, bloop, bloop. But I've made thousands. I've worked with more than 1,000 people now. And it's like a puzzle that I've done many times. Always unique. But there is something like a spine here that I can recognize and share with my client.
Yeah, 60 people at one time is a lot to work with. And I've been talking to coaches, often their challenges is being able to track, build on previous sessions. How do you start, where do you start each conversation Like, what are you building on? Where are you starting?
How are you doing? What are you bringing today, which is linked to your objective, to your goals, to our last conversation? Okay, I have another small secret sauce here, and I didn't know it at all, but discussing with other coaches, I understood that I was a bit special, and maybe it's my Asperger's syndrome that comes into play here, I think, okay? So I'm not coaching 60% in a day, okay? Okay. And I understand, or many people tell me, if you coach so many people, how can you live with all their problems and what? I'm not a psychologist, I'm just a coach, so okay. The thing is, once I'm done, just before we connected, I was with a coachee, okay? When I'm done, when I say goodbye, I'm happy to see you next time and everything, it's just as if I put them very carefully into a drawer and I forget about them completely. They don't exist anymore, okay? And I'm with the other one. So with the other one, I open the drawer. So that's my notes, some notes. I'm taking a few words, just a few words. And I can tell them, oh, last time, I had that with my client this morning. Last time we were not very happy because you thought that I had discovered you in some place that you didn't like. I remember your face. And we go on with that because everything comes back in 1 second. And you ask me a quarter of an hour before, who is the person you are going to meet? I have no idea. I don't know her face. I know if it's a man or a woman. I don't know at all. But when it comes back, it's completely here. I don't know if it's normal, but that's how I play. I work.
It's impressive.
It is. Yeah, I'm so glad you shared that story, Judith, because that's really the one that I was most fascinated with. And I have found small little pieces of that in terms of, and maybe it's a small comment that a client will make and will be like, oh, and then, what about that? Oh, yeah, you had mentioned that interaction with your, sponsor or supervisor.
I don't know how it works. I know everything.
Yeah, just beautiful.
It's not a question of memory. If you allow me, because, for example, I wrote some books, and when I have to speak about my books or whatever, I have to take notes. I don't know. When there is no human in it, I don't have any memory, I think. So.
Yeah, but the ability to actually, how you describe it, is kind of put someone on a shelf, and you described it with such care. So I just want to acknowledge that you really still, even if I think some of our listeners would be surprised at the volume and how do they manage that. And I really think that that is a secret sauce in and of itself. I think the ability to coach at volume and really care for each person. Judith,
I do.
One of the questions I have is, what do you think, since you coach on frequently during the week, like, what do you think coaches, if you were to advise coaches, what do you think they need to stop doing and start doing if they want to stay relevant, right? Because I think that some of our listeners would say, I would love just a fraction of the volume, whether they're on a platform or not. I think some of our listeners have even tried to be on platforms and have not really found it. I heard you say, don't try so hard. It reminds me of, some things.
So you were listening to me.
Yeah, of course I was. Paying very close attention. What do you think coaches need to stop doing or start doing to stay relevant?
I don't know. It's a very... again, I'm not as anybody. I'm very special. When I say I have so many coaches, it was not always true. Sometimes I had only 2 or 3, or I was happy that my husband was bringing the money at home because it was not I couldn't do that, okay? And you would have asked me, I don't know, 3 months ago, I only had 12 between two platforms. Okay, so I don't know what happened all of a sudden in one of the forms. It just, I don't know what happened, and I had to stop it. I had to say no. I stop it. I don't want more. Okay. And I know that in a few months it will go away, maybe. So the happy thing that I had is to enter in. Can I name the platform or not?
Sure.
Yeah, everybody knows it. The main one is BetterUp. So I was lucky enough around 10 years ago to enter BetterUp when it was really much easier. Okay. And when I told you, don't even try it, it's because I have so many friends around me that are telling me, oh, it's so difficult. And once they are in, they don't have anybody. So I don't know. It's not exactly the right thing to do. But, well, I will say go on trying, okay? Forget what I've told you, okay? So, yes. There is a thing at the moment that is really frightening for many coaches, and I was in the conference in Boston. We were attending together. They talked a lot about that, and I was in two others after that where we talked about the same thing. We talked about AI, and many coaches are so afraid of AI. It's going to take our jobs and everything. In some occurrences, for some jobs, I'm sure that it is not very safe. But for the coaching industry, no, never. An advice would be to partner with AIs, to enter AI in your practice. I tried a chatbot. It was the level, an MCC level. It was so good. You know what I'm talking about. We were in the same conference. Okay, so I went into it and whatever. It was so good. It was just bumping the questions and da. But I can swear that then I never felt so alone in my life, so lonely in my life. I was by myself, and that's it. I could have read a book, or nothing was happening. So what you have to do, dear colleague coach, is to work on the human factor, which is going to be so important. But don't be afraid of your clients coming and telling you, oh, I asked my AI, and blah. So at the beginning, say, okay. So, and the question is, so what do we do with that? What did you bring out of that? Let's work on that, okay? And I had two clients, so they were very young men, a lot in their heads, a lot of thinking, very good controlling a lot, trying to control me. They couldn't control me, but what? Being really so smart and so bright. Okay, it's not a question of being controlled, but there was something happening there. And they came telling me, oh, my AI coach or my AI psychologist told me that, etc. Okay, so we talked about that. But after 1 or 2 sessions or 3 sessions, they left me because I was asking questions they didn't like. They had to make some introspection and everything. And that, an AI will never replace you on that. But I love partnering with these AI things. Claude is my friend. I say it. I never say he or she. It is a machine. When I talk to Claude, I say the machine. What does the machine think about that? And above all, Claude helps me to make my tools. For example, I put all the input. For example, I made my last one about the imposter syndrome for my people there, and I discovered many things, and I had Claude make a tool out of that. And I tell my clients, I made it with AI. So, to answer your question, sorry, Matt, go on being human, and try to find your tribe. You have something special. Everybody has a secret sauce. Try to find it and try to sell that and go by it. And don't be afraid of AI. You're the boss with AI.
Judith, I did notice, I just wanted to acknowledge you did choose the most French AI helper, Claude. You didn't choose Steve or, the other ones that are just more...
I don't know Steve.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I missed something. I want to be on the top.
Yeah, you got to start off with something, right? Some level of connection. Well,
Yes.
I have another question for you, Judith. When we were talking, I was fascinated with your other fields of study, and you've written, you've done a lot of work, and I'm wondering, what are you bringing from your other fields of study into the coaching space?
Okay, my main other field, which is my niche, really, but it came to me again. I didn't even know that I was on the spectrum until I turned 57. And so I was on the spectrum, and I worked with a psychiatric hospital to help people on the spectrum, employable people, not as well. I made a tool, I made studies about that and everything to know if people were employable. I don't know if the word is English too. Yeah. And once they are, I have a whole method to help them thrive, to help the managers, to help the team, to help the HR and everything to work together and to take the most out of the person. It's not about, oh, we are inclusive, we like you so much. No, it's not about that at all. It's about how do we perform together? Okay, and this is what my last book is about. Okay, and okay, I don't want to stay in the autistic place because it's about neurodiversity and about being slightly different in a special way that is not tangible and you don't know what to do together. So how do you perceive this slight difference and how do you make do with it as a team and everything? I learned a lot about neuroscience for coaches. I trained as a mediator, mediator as a coach, and through nonviolent communication. I coach couples, and I coach couples when there is neurodiversity between them, because sometimes we just don't speak the same language. Everything comes down to communication. How do you want me to communicate with you when you are in a team, when you are in a couple, when you are in a group, when you are the manager, when you are the collaborator, whatever? How do you need me to communicate with you in order for us to be able to perform, whatever the performance could be? And that's what I bring into my coachings. And many, many times, the objectives of my clients are, I need to be more visible. For example, I don't know how to communicate about what I do, and I don't care. I don't want to. But you need. How do you do that? Respecting the fact that you don't want, because you are who you are. They don't understand me. Why don't they understand me? I don't understand. It's so clear. They're not in your head. You have to communicate. And so on and so forth. So that the exercises we do sometimes are about that, and everything comes to communication.
Judith, if you had to kind of design your ideal coach today, what qualities would they absolutely have to have? Like you had talked about supervision and mentoring. Like, what does your ideal coach for Judith look like?
I've got it. I love my coaches my supervisors, when they surprise me with being the sounding board of what I've said or whatever. And they surprise me with something that, of course, I didn't see, I didn't hear, I said, or whatever. And they make me laugh. Say, you're good at that. You're so good. I did that with this AI, this chatbot. At the end, I said, you are very good. Okay, because it found things in what I was saying that were really accurate. And I was surprised. And I think I will use it again. But the human factor was missing. I was not landing anywhere. So what I would like, what I love, so good listening, of course, and being able to stop me when I talk too much. I don't know if you can do that. And surprising.
Yeah, you kind of bring up this idea, of you can be interrupted when you're the client. Like that is possible, and
of course.
And I think sometimes we just allow the client to continue on and talking, and look for an entry. But it is possible. I think even Marsha Reynolds, when I think back for when she was on the podcast, she talked about like that sometimes is an unused skill of the ability to interrupt and just stop it.
Yes, say that, yes.
Yeah.
And yes, you have to do that because people can go on talking and talking, because coaching is such a safe space for them that they're not used to say all these things, but we have to elaborate. We have to, okay. So, and here I'm talking a lot because I'm here on the podcast, but I can be completely silent, and I'm listening to people a lot, but here it's my turn to speak. So
Judith, beyond sort of books and maybe even what are some unconventional resources that you would recommend? And even I know some of our listeners are French speaking. Some of my former clients. What would you recommend on leadership or on topics that you typically recommend as a coach?
So as a coach, so for the French speakers, I will give Matt and Dave 2 books to read. They are really interesting. At the moment, I'm reading Jumpstart Your Brain. It's really wonderful. Okay, and it's all messy and everything, but I love that. But my unconventional tools, or not tools, but is please listen to people all the time, wherever you are, whatever situation you are in a bar, in the street, on the T in Boston, on the metro in Paris, whatever. Listen to people. Put your headphones and podcasts and everything away. Listen to people. See them through what they are telling each other, how they react to some political news and whatever. Because people, in what they are saying, they are always talking about themselves. Always. We are all the same. We are projecting who we are in any situation. So it is very, very important to do that all the time. Okay? Well, it's becoming a reflex for me, but try it. It's so interesting. And the other thing is I am addict to a podcast. So for the French speaker, it's called Parlons-nous. And for the other one is Let's Talk. Okay? And this is a psychologist who is dealing with real cases, with real people, bringing cases from everywhere, every field of their lives and everything. And everything is anonym, you say? Anonymized?
Anonymous,
is it English? Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. And that can last half an hour, 3/4 of an hour and everything. But I've heard hundreds of them, and I can listen to them many times when there are no more for the moment or whatever. And the thing I take from that, so this is a psychologist, and I'm not a psychologist, and I know my limits very well as a coach, okay? But every time you hear the same thing, whatever problem you have in your life, it is rooted in your childhood, in how you were raised, in how you were fed, or whatever. So when I have a coach in front of me, and when I see the problems and whatever, and we share the objectives, I always see the little boy, the little girl they were, and maybe they had problems or what. It's none of my business. But I told you at the beginning, I'm not carrying their bags. I'm trying to make space for them and to carry them. And when I don't think about that anymore, but it's automatic for me. But somewhat, I'm carrying the little boy or the little girl here, and what they did with their life and everything. And you don't judge, you don't anything. You're just there for them, and they can grow from that.
Dave, what's your reflection?
I love that last statement. I'm a big fan of the don't lose your inner child. And, we bring so much energy, and I really appreciate, Judith, you bringing that up. And some of the things that really strike me, and this is from the first conversation I've had with Judith, is that your rate of connection is one of the fastest I've ever experienced. Like just in conversation, we got like 10 conversations in the first 10 steps as we were walking. And I think I see that you do that with your clients, like your rate of connection is really high, and that you do that in a way to really see your clients, and that you could hold them in a space and create a space for them to feel safe. And I appreciate that so much about you. Matt.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm red. Am I red? Yes, I'm blushing.
Thank you. I'm trying to get you to match the picture frame.
These are my brothers and sisters, all of them.
Judith, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Really showing up. We really just appreciate just what you said. And what I would say, maybe a little bit different than, there is a very distinguishing quality that you do feel safe around you. Somewhat parental, but somewhat like, this feels like someone that if I just said something, you would just smile and give me a hug. Don't know why, but anyway, I think
I'm a grandmother.
I would imagine you're a grandmother. Yes,
grandchildren. That's it.
But anyway, I think that's very disarming and allows people to kind of drop some of the. And I think one of the things that I really admire about coaches that are very forthcoming, it just allows you to just kind of say, look, this is how it is. May not be how I like it as a client, but this is how it is. And so I think that is, yes, we really appreciate it. Yeah.
And let's build from that, not force street or whatever. Let's build from what you have, and it will be so strong.
Yeah.
Yes.
Judith, if someone were to try to get a hold of you, what's the best way for people to get a hold of you if they're not on those platforms? So I guess if someone is on the Better Up platform, they can find you if you're taking more clients. But
no, it's not the way it goes. So the colleagues can call me if they want, whatever, to have a chat, and I'm always giving my time for people who want to discuss with me. There is no problem with that, because I love transmitting what I can transmit. And there is my website, and there is a form there that you can reach me through, and LinkedIn, of course.
We really appreciate your time, and thank you for all of our listeners. We hope you like and subscribe, and a special thanks to our sponsor. And until we meet next time, go out and be safe. Thanks for listening. If you love this podcast, please share it with another coach or leader. Make sure you go to the show notes to get all the resources from today's episode.